you, Brian. We keep hearing about all the concessions with unions having been made during the restructuring of the U.S. auto industry. But are the taxpayers really being taken for a ride?
Joining us right now is a former General Motors manager who comes from 4 generations of GM union workers. Lori Roman joins us from our D.C. Bureau. Good morning to you, Lori.
Good morning.
First of all, you know, it's terrible what's happened to this once great company and all the thousands of families across the country. I know you've had a connection to the UAW, and the UAW, part of the unwinding of General Motors, right, in your estimation?
It's true. I come from a 4-generation General Motors family, both union and salary, and I was a GM manager. And unfortunately, I see 3 things contributed to the demise of General Motors. The first being an overreaching and overly powerful union. The second being government regulations that have not been helpful to our competitiveness. And the third thing being wimpy management, of which I was part of. So I'm readily admitting that management was wimpy and did not take action soon enough to remedy these problems.
Gotcha.
So as the GM and Chrysler would have Americans believe that this was a true, fair bankruptcy proceeding, it wasn't, really, was it?
No, it wasn't. And when I was with you back in November and December, I was trying to sound the warning that sending the government to fix the auto industry was like sending arsonists to put out fires. This just wasn't going to work. What we have now is the union and the government in control, 2 of the players that made this most uncompetitive, really.
Sure.
And now we have wimpier management. So the 3 things that were wrong with General Motors are more wrong with General Motors right now. And for people that care about General Motors like me and my family, that's very sad. And what we wanted to see was, is the union ready to make concessions to make the auto industry competitive? Well, Lori, and unfortunately, the answer is no.
That's a perfect segue. Let's go ahead and take a look at what concessions the union is made. No loss in base hourly pay, no reduction in health care benefits, no reduction in pensions for active employees. Laid-off workers get 50% of their pay for 1 year. And the concessions were things like giving up Easter Monday and tuition assistance.
Big deal, right?
They actually, the union came out of this smelling like a rose.
They did, and I have in my hands here today the memo that went out to the GM active members of the union bragging about all of those things. They got more control of the company, and they didn't have to give up base pay. Yes, you can. They didn't have to give up base pay.
Read the bragging line. I'd love to hear that.
The
bragging line. Okay. For our active members, these tentative changes mean no loss in your base hourly pay, no reduction in your health care, and no reduction in pensions. In addition, we were able to slow the import of vehicles coming from China and other foreign sources. And then they go on to say that they got more control of the company and more involvement in the management decisions.
And Lori, I'm sure we'll hear all about this in the mainstream media, reporting that the union is bragging that they busted the you-know-what of all the dealers out there. I don't think the dealers really feel that way.
Well, you know, all of us want what's best for these GM employees, and I have GM employees in my family, so I have no ill will toward GM employees, but average Americans would love to get laid off and get 50% of their pay, and what we want to see as taxpayers is just be competitive.
Right, gotta go. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.